Good afternoon, and welcome to Payentry's extra webinar this week. Today, we're going to talk about HR Services' new compliance package, and we hope that you will be as excited about this as we are. The team at HR Services is a mighty two people. Brianna Grimes, who is the Senior HR Services Consultant, and me. We work together to help our clients make sure that they're compliant and a lot of other things. So just wanted to introduce you, Brianna. You can say hi to Brianna. Um, and I think maybe a few of you have already dealt with either one of us. So today we're going to talk about our new package. This is an I don't want to say this is the old team, but we've been in existence now for a while, so you probably are familiar with us. But the new package, first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about compliance. So what is it? Well, you have compliance in many areas of your businesses, but what we're going to talk about today is HR compliance. You have to comply as a business with many federal laws. The ones that I've got mentioned here are just a few: the Fair Labor Standards Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the ADA, which is the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Family Medical Leave Act. There are many others that we don't have up here today. And on top of that, you have to comply with state and local laws. For example, the CFRA in California, there's a Colorado law. Brianna is our state, um, um, I suppose you would call her the state expert. I'm going to let Brianna tell you what these stand for. Brianna, would you hop on here for the acronyms?
Sure. So as far as state and local laws go, in California, you have the California Families Act, which is CFRA, which is very similar to FMLA, but it's a California version. In Colorado, you have the Healthy Families and Workplaces Act. In New York, you have the New York Paid Sick Leave, and then Maryland, you have paid family medical leave. So those are just kind of a couple examples of the state and local laws that we would assist you with if you have employees in those states.
Right. Yeah, we have clients with customers or employees in different states, and now working remotely, you may find you have employees working in states you weren't working in before. And how do you handle their taxes? Are you following the laws of that state because you have to? Massachusetts also has a paid family medical leave, and it's just predominant now that states have additional leaves including the federal laws. So, bottom line, do you know the laws? We are paid to know the laws, and at different levels. But do you know what laws apply to your company from an HR standpoint? They do vary based on the size of your company. Do you have the right processes in place to avoid risks in hiring and firing? Because different states have different rules about what when you can when you can fire someone from a legal perspective in the courts, and also because California is one of those states that has lots of laws, and North Carolina may not have as many. So, do you have processes in place to avoid any problems that you might come up with or liabilities? Is your handbook a liability? This is always a big deal because handbooks are contracts from a certain standpoint. They're going to follow your rules, and you're going to pay them a certain way, etc. But is your handbook a liability because it's not current or it's not legal? We're getting handbooks in now for us to assist with that haven't been revised since 2014, 2017. And so you know that the laws have changed since then. Make sure your handbook's up to date. Why should you worry about being compliant? We all worry about different things. This one you should worry about, these laws you should worry about because just for Fair Labor Standard Act violations, and that's the Wage and Hour Division of the Department of Labor, it's up to $2,050 for each violation, and some can run in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. There have been a lot of settlements lately that have gone well above $1 million. So it depends on the size of your company from a liability standpoint, but there's a liability even if you're a small company, because if you're not paying, for example, overtime to those you should be paying overtime to, and it's discovered, they can go back 3 years. Um, the average cost of losing a harassment claim is $50,000 to $300,000 in damages, and that does not include your attorney fees. And we already do teach a lot of harassment classes. I say we in the royal way. That is, Brianna teaches the harassment trainings, and it's important that you make sure that you're following those rules because they are, again, different by state. And violations of wage and hour claims can cause the employers to pay up to 3 years in back pay wages to employees with interest and penalties. So just because you weren't aware of something that was going on in your organization and someone leaves and complains and files a lawsuit, if you didn't know it, it's not an excuse to waive the penalties for this. So there are a number of rules that you should be following when it comes to paying people that we can help with. And this is not supposed to be here. I'm sorry, yes, it is. The compliance solution is, compliance is the solution. I was taken aback because this was supposed to float in, and you know how that takes you out of practice here. So in order to make sure that you don't have to worry about things related to HR, you need to be in compliance and you need to be comfortable that you are being compliant with all of the laws out there that are federal and state laws. And it's very hard to run a business and be an HR expert. So we have a team of people at Payentry that can assist you with maintaining your compliance so that you avoid those costly penalties. So Brianna's going to go over the screen about our compliance package and what do you get when you buy our compliance package.
So Kathy's already explained how important compliance is, and that's why we've kind of put together this HR compliance package to really take all of the important aspects of compliance and put it into one nice little gift wrapped box for you. So in this package, you get unlimited phone and email access to your designated HR expert. Either Kathy or myself will be your designated point of contact, but both of us will be there to service you with whatever your needs are. Inside the actual comprehensive HR compliance package, we're going to focus on two parts. The first is getting you compliant in any areas where you're lacking. And the second part is the comprehensive HR compliance maintenance. And that's maintaining your compliance once you get there. So making sure that as you hire new employees, you roll out new programs, as employees leave your organization, we're making sure that from the very start of their journey with you all the way to the end of their journey with you, you are compliant with everything in between. So this includes things like your employment records. Are they filed the appropriate way? Do you have them separated the way they need to? Employee classifications and wage and hour compliance. With the shift to President Biden's administration, we are going to see a huge movement towards pay equity and wage and hour compliance because that is a huge focus of the Democratic Party. So those are going to be things that we're going to see in the coming 4 years that really need to be a focus for employers. We also do a handbook creation. So if you don't have a handbook at all, we will create one for you as part of this package. If you already have one, we will update it for you at the beginning of this package contract. And then every year we will review it and update it as needed. So we all know that every year the states get together and they love to pass new laws with things that are coming out, or they have already passed laws in the past that are now coming to fruition because they were passed for a future date. So these are the types of things that we'll update you on, make sure your handbook is compliant, and we'll help you roll it out to your employees so they are aware of their rights and the benefits that they get from whatever law got passed in your particular states. We'll also cover things like FLSA compliance, making sure your employees are classified and paid the same way or the correct way, as well as keep you updated on all the changing nuances right now with independent contractors. That's a huge hot topic right now in the form of legislation, and They're really trying to sort through what makes an independent contractor and what are the different tests, and even states have their own different interpretations of that. So we will keep you abreast of that if that is really important and a key component to your organization. Things like state and federal compliance. Obviously, there are a ton of laws passing, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic started. This is probably the most amount of laws that we have seen pass in such a short amount of time over the past 18 months. And we don't expect it to slow down anytime soon because now, as we reintegrate employees back into the workplace, we imagine that there's going to be that much more legislation passed on exactly how employers should be doing this. So we're going to keep you updated on state and federal compliance, what's happening with COVID, what do you need to do to get your tax credits, all that good stuff that's coming down the pike. We're going to make sure that you're very aware. And if you have any questions, we're obviously available for you. This package also includes things like EEOC, ADEA, and ADA compliance. Those are huge ones, and they tend to kind of trickle into a lot of other areas like disciplinary action, employee relations, your filing, personnel files, how you treat employees, how you train managers, harassment training. Those are kind of the three core laws that just really tie into that. And so we're going to make sure that you're compliant with all three of those. And then obviously I-9s are another big one. We get a lot of questions about I-9 compliance. So we'll help you with anything you need there, and we'll help you run through I-9 audits to make sure that if you ever did get audited by ICE, that you would pass the audit with flying colors. Now, additionally, outside of the actual compliance maintenance and compliance package, additionally with that, you're going to get a subscription to an industry-specific learning management system, also called an LMS training bundle. So essentially, if you would like to enroll any of your new hires or any of your current employees in any type of training, we can get that started for you, and it will be industry specific. So if you are an industry where you have a call center, or a lot of your employees might be client-facing employees, excuse me, we can get you registered with some communications training, or maybe how to handle angry customers training, or things like that that will really help your employees be prepared for their positions and just help them overall in their general skills and abilities that they need for their position. And that is included in the package. You will also get a e-poster subscription for remote workers. This has kind of been a question that has been floating around since COVID sent a lot of people working from home. Any of your remote working employees who have been working from home, the Department of Labor has stated that you still need to provide them with labor law posters. And rather than sending everybody physical posters that they have to hang in their houses, which they probably won't do, they've actually had a solution for e-posters. And so it is a subscription, and it is included in the compliance package. We sign you up one time. We will do all the administrative work for you. So if you add people or people leave your organization, we'll make sure that that is updated accordingly, but it'll keep all of your e-poster compliance done for any of your remote employees. And then additionally, if there's anything not included in the compliance package that you really want us to handle for you, it could be custom trainings or performance review management or anything like that. We offer a 15% discount on any project HR work that is outside of the scope of the compliance package to our compliance package clients.
And can you give us some examples of that, Brianna?
Sure. So project work can be things like I said, custom trainings, or if you want help with unemployment claims, we can do unemployment claims for you on a monthly basis. Any type of performance review management. So if you want to roll out a new performance review process in your company, any manager training, any type of basically projects that just wouldn't fall under the compliance guys. And we have a complete list that we can definitely chat with you about if you're interested in the compliance package. But there are some things that just kind of fall out of the package that we want to be able to service you if it's something that you're interested in, and we do want to offer you that discount.
Okay, so what does this cost? As as a payroll client, you already have access to Brianna and I on a very limited basis. If you have a question about HR and you just need a quick answer, you want to verify something about, the employee retention tax credit or something. I take a lot of emails and phone calls, and so does Brianna. And so you already have access to us, but it's a very limited access, and we're not allowed to do, a lot of research or anything like that for a client that is not one of our HR services um, clients. So if you want to be an HR services client and get all of what Brianna just talked about, then what does it cost? Well, it's $8 per employee per month. There's a one-time setup or audit fee, and that does have a $200 monthly minimum. So if you don't have enough employees to, let's just say you had 10 employees, that would be $80 a month. It would roll up to the $200 monthly minimum, not 80 plus 200, but just the minimum that we can charge is 200. But that means that you get a virtual HR person on staff with your company for $2,400 a year, and you can't hire an HR person for $2,400 a year because that's below minimum wage, and it probably is 1 hour a week. So we believe that this bundle that we put together is going to be perfect for a lot of our companies that are smaller, and even the larger ones that just have so much to do right now, they don't know if they're compliant. Um, it's you're so busy with your everyday work. When in the world do you have time to stop and make sure that your handbook is up to date, or that you're paying people correctly? You, most people that I know, even in HR or in office management, don't have time. They're spread thin enough as it is. So we come in and we are your HR manager virtually, and you have unlimited access to us and to our services. Um, we have a special this month for those who are viewing this webinar. We'll waive the one-time audit fee of $350 if you decide you want to take advantage of this service before May the 30th. So let us know. And right now, we're just going to open it up for questions if anyone has any. And Brianna is going to see if anyone has any questions.
As of right now, Kathy, we don't have any
Okay.
questions, but if
All right.
anybody has questions, feel free to type them into the question box now. Oh, we are getting a couple in. So
Okay.
first question is, how do you calculate the actual active employee count to charge the $8 per employee per month? We have
It's
active employees in the portal that are not actually active.
Okay, then whatever's in your portal is what we would charge. So you need to make sure that those people who are not working for you anymore that are listed as active come out of there, because that is the number that we use. And if there's a specific situation where you can't delete those active employees, please reach out to me and we can talk about it.
Perfect. We had another question. Can we please get this emailed to us? Yes, you will get a copy of this webinar. I believe, Kathy, we are recording it, so you'll get a copy of the recording as well as the slides as well, so you can have a copy of
Right.
those.
Definitely. Definitely.
And then we had a question. If we have 60 employees, that would be $480 per month for services. Yes, that is correct. $480 per month for 60 employees at $8 per employee per month.
But if you look at that, that's under $6,000 a year, and you can't hire an HR person for that.
Correct.
So it's a
All
really,
right.
we believe that it's a really good deal for our clients, and it will give you what you need to make sure that if the Department of Labor walks in your door and wants to do an audit, that you are prepared for that. We also, as a part of this, do a benefits audit, which will make sure that your employee benefits documents are in place correctly. So it's not just HR things that you think outside the box. It's benefits, it's other things like how do you have certain benefits set up. So any other questions, Brianna?
Yes, we had one other one come in. This
Mhm.
would be separate from our current MRA compliance bundle for ACA, correct?
It is correct, yes.
We actually got another question. If we are an FSL, if our clients want this service, do they contact you directly or should they go through us?
That depends on how you want to handle it. If you're an FSL, they can come directly to us unless you want some sort of tracking to see how many of your clients are are coming through to us, but that's totally up to you.
Then we had another question about how about documents for terminating staff? Yes. So in terms of compliance, if you don't have templates for forms like disciplinary actions or termination forms or those types of documents, we can definitely help you with coming up with templates for that to ensure that you have those documents. And then if you are exiting anybody out of your organization and you just want to make sure that you're compliant with state laws, you're paying them correctly and in the appropriate time frame, you're providing them any termination documents, we can definitely help you with that and make sure that you have all the documents required by state and local laws. I think that's all the questions, Kathy.
Okay, so if you want more information, um, I'm going to put this up here for you for a second, but we did promise that someone that attended the webinar today would be receiving a free employee handbook review or a written one if you don't have one. So, Brianna, I know that you did a calculation on what was that, a Google thing that you set up
Yes,
that
I
would
took all
select,
of our,
it is a
yeah, I took
random selection.
Yes, I took all of our attendees today and I put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and I had Google choose a random number. And our winner for today is, and I apologize if I mispronounce your last name, it's going to be Nicole Lahoy with Armor Screen. So, Nicole, we will be
Awesome.
reaching out to you to give you your free handbook and we'll kind of discuss next steps with that. But thank you, everybody, for attending and being entered into the raffle. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for attending today. Yes, and let us know if you have any questions. You know, we do, I meant to mention, and I may have, that we do project work too. So if it's not in your budget right now to have an HR person on board all the time, then let us know. We might be able to do something for you, like do your handbook for you as a standalone project. So we're happy to have you here today and hope that you consider us in the future. Oh, and by the way, our webinar tomorrow, our regular webinar, is on the employee retention tax credit. So if you are confused, please join us tomorrow and we'll try to clear up some of the confusion. Thank you and have a great day.